Good afternoon. My name is Carolyn Motley, and I'm with the Cannon County Chamber Connection. And we are here today. This is the March edition of this, and we want to thank, as usual, my DTC3 for coming in here and giving us our hour to tell you about everything that goes on in Cannon County. And I do have a co-host.
And I'm Connie Rigsby, and I'm the director at the Senior Center, and also Chamber Treasurer, and many hats. And we're glad to have you listening to all the things going on in Cannon County. We've got a lot of things for March. I'm wearing my green for St. Patrick's Day. You're decked out in purple. We could have a Mardi Gras.
What does that indicate here?
So we've got a lot of things going on. We've got some special guests in with us today. And the first one guest is Miss Carla Bush. And we've just done something really great in Cannon County this weekend.
We've done a lot of things great.
Well, one big thing this last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Were you there?
No, I didn't get the one I missed. You might know. The Cannon County Lionettes basketball team is going to the big show. They will be going to state. Their next game will be tomorrow, which will be Thursday at 5:30 at MTSU, and we are so proud of them.
Yeah, we're going to wish you good luck, girls.
Yes.
I know I had several seniors that were at that ball game, and they were pretty excited. It was a big game for McMahon, and so...
They were probably the rowdy ones. I heard the crowd got...
It was probably, if I had to guess, it was probably my guys that were the rowdy ones.
I think there were some women in there.
I think that was fine then. But really do wish them luck and great season.
I want to tell you, the boys and the girls gave us some exciting basketball this year. They did. They always do. But this is another year we're going to state, and I mean, this is, we're a small county. This is big. So, it really is, and we are really proud of them.
Well, congratulations to all those parents and grandparents and family members that got those girls to practice every week and coaches.
They may not be out there on the floor, but I guarantee you they're putting something into it. I'll guarantee you they are. Anyway, like I say, we're just really proud of them, and we hope they do. We hope they continue, and we get to go back on Saturday.
And maybe in April we'll be able to show a trophy or something. That would be nice.
Well, I don't know if they'll let us show it.
Well, we can invite the whole team. We could spread
it.
out.
We could have the team on here. We could.
That would be very nice.
We do have a guest. We have more than one guest, but our first one is going to be Carla Bush. Carla is with the Cannon County Family and Consumer Sciences.
With you too.
What is your other title?
Well, I work for the University of Tennessee Extension, and I am the Family and Consumer Sciences Agent, which some people still call me the home agent, which is fine because I think that may be an accurate description, anything dealing with the home. So we have parenting education as well as food safety, food preparation, personal finance, family budgets. So home economics is kind of what they used to call it in high schools, but now they call it in family and consumer sciences. So I'm the FCS agent.
You even give babysitting classes.
I do.
It's a good class.
It is. It is a very good class. The 4-H Babysitting Rocks is offered every summer here in Cannon County, and it usually fills up. And it's nearly a parenting class for young kids. We talk about nutrition through different stages and child development ages and stages. Safety, of course, because that is the babysitter's first job, and is to keep the child safe. And then we have fun too. We talk about entertaining children. So that is an annual program. In the past few years, I've partnered with the health department, Lindsay Arfston. You may hear her name a lot, but I partner with her quite a bit on a lot of our education when it deals with health and parenting and safety.
Well, you put a lot of, you do an article for the newspaper. Mm-hmm. And you've had several in there on what to do with vinegar and baking soda.
I get more comments.
And I don't know why anybody buys anything else, because
you can do
it does everything.
Right.
So I don't know why we're buying cleaning products and everything, because vinegar and baking soda is all you need.
There you go.
You can cook with it too.
But another big thing I know that Carla does, because we've partnered with her before, is Walk Across Tennessee.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
And that's
huge.
coming up pretty
It
soon.
is. It is. It is a great way to get kickstarted into physical activity because it's a group effort. You and 4 other people are on a team of 5, and Lindsay and I, with our schedules, have done a 5-week program for 5 people on a team. Try to keep it consistent. But we had one in the fall that was very successful, and I brought the board from last fall to show the results. But there are teams of 5 people, one of the members is the captain, and each week they will turn in the total of the miles for their team. But it has been proven that a modest increase in daily activity will help improve the health of Americans. So Walk Across Tennessee is a program that is supposed to help persuade people to get motivated, to get moving. So it is a 5-week walking program. The challenge is 500 miles in 5 weeks, which is quite a bit. That's 100 per person if you're going to divvy it up.
Now, when you break these down into weeks, though, you don't walk as a team necessarily. I mean, you can walk on your own.
Yes,
And
that's
they
right.
turn those numbers into the captain.
Right, you log your miles. We'll give them a sheet where they keep up with how many miles they walk for exercise. So that means if you're already walking for work, that doesn't count. You know, you have to be walking for exercise. And it doesn't necessarily have to be walking either. We have an equivalency chart where they can, if they're riding a bike or if they're doing other things, they can convert
Cleaning
those
the
to
house.
Yes.
We've got that, those
Being
information.
physically active for exercise.
I did that last week and I hurt myself, so I'm not doing that.
Clean the house.
It's done, no more cleaning.
Did you use vinegar and baking soda?
Oh, that didn't come into the picture.
But we are recruiting teams now. If you would like more information, we have a fabulous website, utextension.tennessee.edu/Cannon. And that is our extension office's website. And you can click on Walk Across Tennessee, and there is a package for captains that gives you the steps for forming a team and registering it. Now, I wish I could say that we had a trip to, you know, Tahiti or something as the grand prize.
Can't walk over there.
No. And it is just a friendly competition to get people motivated to move more. So no, we don't have any. The top 5 teams will be recognized at the finale, which will be in conjunction with the Cannonball Run, which is at the good old days, May 18th. Mm-hmm. So all of the participants will be recognized. However, there is no huge grand prize, I regret, unless there are some donors out there who would like to provide that. And then I may talk to the gentlemen who are speaking next for some awards for the top team.
Hey, they've
How about
got
that?
a product that'll make them walk faster.
Maybe more walks, maybe not straight, but okay. Sorry.
We'll get that to them.
The first week of Walk Across Tennessee will be Sunday, April the 7th. It'll be a Sunday through Saturday. That will be week 1.
So all through March, you're going to be wanting to get teams,
Yes.
go out and speak and get
Yes,
teams.
that's
We've
right.
had several senior teams, and they've done very well.
Yes, they have. They have. One of your teams, I believe, came in second. Oh, sorry. The
Girls.
Beauties and the Beast.
Yeah.
I love the names that they come up with. Beauties and the Beast. And I think that was 4 women and 1 man.
Yes.
So, and they logged 995 miles.
There were some walking.
Yes, they were.
I think they were scaring some of the younger people.
Well, you know what? I did have some people come in and say there need to be 2 divisions. One division for people who work, and one for those that don't, because I didn't have enough hours in the day to keep up with that. But you know, it was just, they walked a lot. Yes,
They did. I was all over town. I was seeing those folks walking.
Right. So one of the reasons we have 500 miles as a goal is because, you know, on the map virtually, if you start in Memphis and you go to Bristol, it would be 500 miles. So that's why on the map we take your little icon, I guess if it was, and move it across the map to show them their progress. So their goal is to make it to Bristol. We are also on Facebook, so each week we'll post the results on Facebook, and that gets everybody motivated.
You've
too.
had some good goals out of this. You've had some, of course,
Oh,
weight
yes.
loss. You've
Yes.
had some just overall health.
Yes, overall health and even safety. I'll tell you one of the success stories was I got a note from a person who was walking, and she said that she had another lady in her neighborhood who walked all the time, and she had written her a thank you note to say, "It is so good to see you out in the neighborhood, in the community walking, because it makes me feel safer." Because she was getting older, and she said, it makes me feel, more secure in our neighborhood to know that if I fell or something happened, that someone else was out there that could see me. And so you think, you can't really measure that impact. You can measure pounds lost or inches lost. People report that they sleep better, lower blood pressure, all kinds of numbers, but that impact was a different one that I still remember that one. So. People watch less television. They spend more time with their family. It's a free exercise to
And
just
everybody
go
can
out.
walk. Everybody, I won't say everybody, but most folks can get out. That's something they can start. They're not going to jump into some big routine.
Yes,
They can start walking.
and
You've
that
got
is
a team. You could get a team together.
Who, me?
chamber team.
Yes. All your grandkids, you could.
Oh, shoot.
So we do have family. We have family
Unless they
teams.
can take their cell phones and everything.
Well,
that
we
is-
let them walk with a cell phone.
Right. We have family teams, and we've had teams from churches. We've had teams from businesses, and one of the banks here locally, I'll call them out, First National Bank, had 2 teams I think last time, and those 2 teams were very competitive.
At
Just-
work,
Yes,
literally,
yes.
like going in and saying, "We've already logged."
Right.
I heard about that one.
That was great. That's
running
good.
around the lobby.
But that is the Walk Across Tennessee, and we are recruiting teams now. So teams of 5 to walk 5 weeks, and we'll keep up with the totals, and you can map your progress and your personal impacts.
So
from
all they
walking for
have to do
exercise.
is get a hold of you.
Yes, you can call our office at 563-2554, or we are on Facebook at UT Extension Cannon County, and we have a website that I mentioned, utextension.tennessee .edu/Cannon. I bet they could even go to the chamber site.
I bet they could too.
We're there too.
You won't get the packet, but you'll get the information.
Yes.
We'll get you in touch with the right people.
That's
Well, no, I know, Carla, you're very busy. I know there's one other project that you work with, a group that you work with, FCE ladies, across Tennessee, but in our area. You want to tell us a little bit about that before you go?
Yes. FCE is our Family and Community Education Clubs, and they are wonderful women. We have 2 outstanding clubs in Cannon County that are a little different. I know there are FCE clubs all over the Upper Cumberland, and all over the state really. And to have 2 clubs may not sound impressive, but we have the most active 35 to 40 members. And something else that's different about them is they use email, they're on Facebook, and they are very active. And we have just recently collected their CVUs, or their Certified Volunteer Units. And they volunteer at the hospital, in their communities, taking meals, preparing meals. It's just amazing what these ladies get done. They visit people who are shut-ins. And all of these volunteer hours are calculated at the volunteer rate, and it makes an economic impact for our county, as well as their donations that they make to local fire departments, to the libraries for Imagination Library. They're just outstanding ladies. Now, what's coming up is our recognition tea, where they get together, both of the clubs will get together and kind of celebrate their successes from the past year. They are very active. Another upcoming event, and I don't mean to skip to your agenda, but they participate in the Princess Ball, which I know you're going to talk about later. They prepare and bring food to the Princess Ball as well.
And that's a lot of fun.
And we'll definitely get into
Yes,
a little
we
bit
will.
more about that one. Well, Carla, I know there's so many things that you do, and you could probably do 2 or 3 shows all by yourself.
Thank you.
We had Carla in for the Girl Scout cookies. so-
Yes.
Yes,
Did you
I-
sell all your Girl Scout
I
cookies?
did. Almost. I sold Carolyn's.
You didn't even get out there.
I hadn't paid for them yet.
So,
Out from under you.
snooze you lose, right? Well,
That's right.
I I definitely know that was a big
We
hit.
are
so.
sold out, but there are troops that are likely still selling at weekend booths, so do support the Girl Scouts, yes. Our service unit in Cannon County is 158, and I have 2 little Girl Scouts, so they are getting ready for World Thinking Day, which is a big event too. coming up. No, stop it. I'm gonna have to-
We're thinking that.
That'll be another show.
We're going to take a vacation on that day.
Yes, we are.
We're going to take a vacation for that day, so. We're
Well,
gonna
Carla, we appreciate you coming in. You do a lot of good things for the community. I enjoy reading your write-up in the paper every week. It's not always about vinegar and baking soda.
Right.
She does give recipes and things. It is good, I do. And I do appreciate anybody that puts as much into their job as Carla does. And she does.
I know.
Well,
That's
thank
why
you
she's
for
on my
having-
board.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you.
Well, along with just several things that we've got going on, we've talked a lot the last few months about some of the big events and news media that's been in the community over one of our main products that we've got coming out of Cannon County right now. And we've got a guest joining us, Mr. John Whitmore is joining us, and he is from Short Mountain Distillery.
Yes, ma'am.
And we've got some product, and no, Carolyn and I have not been into the product. We
Well,
may
those were
see.
full when I came in here with them.
No. They may think that we have, but we have not been into the product.
We're not slurring our words yet or anything. Yeah.
But you've had a big year.
We have. We've had a very big year, very successful, in my opinion. We're super thrilled with the way things have happened and all the support that we've gotten, not only from our community here in Cannon County, but across the state. We're tickled to death.
It is something when you think, okay, I'm going to start this business, and then
From scratch.
From scratch.
Yeah.
From scratch, and then the next thing you know, you've got TV cameras in your backyard, and you've got people and winning awards.
Yes.
To still trying to run the business and grow faster than you probably imagined for the first year. So.
Absolutely, yes. We're very proud of the award we won. We won the 2012 Beverage Tasting Institute's Gold Medal for our category of moonshine, which is becoming a new category.
And that would be this one, right?
That's our original 105 proof traditional Tennessee moonshine, which everyone really loves. And then in November of this past year, we introduced the one to the side of that, which is our apple pie flavored moonshine, which has really taken off. I was a little afraid that with it coming in, so much later than the moonshine, that it would maybe have a little trouble picking it up in the market. But I'm hearing from store owners and our distributors and that sort of thing that it's quickly catching the moonshine as far as monthly sales numbers and that sort of thing. So that's a great thing too.
Well, you've got an event coming up here. It's hard to believe that it's been a year, but it was, because I set up a booth up there last year in March, about froze to death the first time. I'm hoping for warmer weather this time. But you do have a re-grand opening, don't you, or a first anniversary kickoff?
Right, it's been called a lot of different
I
things.
know, and I don't know exactly which one.
Well, to
go.
clarify, it is our 1-year anniversary celebration, and it will also kind of end our winter hour period that we've gone through because of November, December, and January and February. With the weather being what it is, we
Right.
have been keeping our store open, and folks are welcome to come and visit, but we haven't been having staff there to take care of doing tours and that sort of thing.
Right.
So this will kick off our 2013 tour schedule. It is March 23rd. We're going to open up at 9 a.m. and we'll go strong until 4, weather providing, and we're really hoping for some pretty weather, so if anybody's got any pull when it comes to that sort of thing, help us out. That makes a big difference, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have, again, the Tennessee Mafia Jug Band will join us.
They bring their own crowd.
They do. They do a great job with that. We are going to have the CDs available that we produced for them this past year. It's a new CD called Tales from Short Mountain. A lot of different songs about moonshine and whiskey running and that sort of thing. And those guys do a great job with that. And we're very happy we'll have those available for folks that day. And we're going to also have our mule wagon rides. The Middle Tennessee Mule Skinners Association, Andy Duggan and the boys will all be coming out and bringing their teams of mules, so folks really enjoy that, getting a tour around the farm and that sort of thing in a mule wagon. We'll have the Blue Porch. She'll be out there serving some delicious food. They're going to have a little more variety than what they've had in the past. They're going to have their fare that you'll normally get at the Blue Porch itself. And then along with that, I think Wanda's sister is going to set up and have a thing where she's going to have more wings and hot dogs and burgers and that kind of stuff, just to give people a little bit of choice on that. We're going to reopen the Cooper Cave Spring Trail, which is what we've dedicated that to Cooper Melton, and folks will be able to go back there and see what we've done. We've changed a few things with the trail in the spring. That is where all our water comes from. So it's important to us that people understand that.
Right.
Again, we not only started this business from scratch, but we make every bottle of that moonshine from scratch as well.
That's what I mean.
Absolutely.
That Cave Spring water plays a big role in it, as well as the organic corn that we grow there on the farm. And we just, we hope everybody can come out and help us celebrate our first year and get ready to jump off into the second one.
And of course, you have your souvenirs there. You have T-shirts, caps.
We do indeed. We have the t-shirts, we have the hats, we have shot glasses, we have hoodies that people are really liking a lot. A new thing that we've recently picked up has been the Bellafina chocolate truffles that a friend of ours from Kingsport, Tennessee has been making using our product. They've won a couple of awards. We recently got, the Blue Porch has started making the moonshine brownies. So we have those available.
She
as well as the
has cookies and cakes.
She's
and
putting it in
brownies
everything now.
That's right.
our new secret.
And hot sauce.
Yeah, oh yeah, the hot sauce. Yeah, the hot sauce is good.
Everybody loves that. Another big thing that folks enjoy is we have the mini barrels. So people can take our moonshine home and age it themselves in a little mini barrel. It basically just, it turns it a different color, and it also does bring out a little bit of that wood flavor from the barrel, like a bourbon or a Tennessee
So how long do you have to
whiskey
wait for that?
It's generally about 2 weeks.
Oh,
well,
okay. I was thinking a year.
I was thinking years.
How long is that gonna last?
No, the smaller the barrel, the less time it takes to age.
So 2 weeks.
Which is another exciting thing that, as we close in on finishing up this first year, we have started putting some of our very first bourbons into barrels there at the still house. So Josh and Ryan are excited about that. I got to taste a little bit of it unaged, and it's delicious from the start. So hopefully after it sits in a barrel for a while, it'll be even better. We're gonna play around with this as far as using different sized barrels, because as I was telling you, the smaller the barrel, the less time it takes to age, but of course the less product you get out of it at the end of the day. So, we're thinking that sometime, maybe about this time next year, we'll be able to introduce our first small batch of bourbon. That'll be on a limited basis. Get out
Isn't
there.
that funny that anything else you'd age would mold?
Not much gonna mold. It's got that alcohol.
That's got enough in there to knock somebody over. Well, I wish you a lot of luck. I will tell you, I have to say thank you. My daughter had came up during this winter, and it was snowing. And they actually had some folks that were going away. They were from into Tennessee, and they were going to be leaving, and they wanted to take this as a gift. So we drove up. You were closed, but you opened up for us, and I really do appreciate that day. It was snowing. We had snow on the ground, and we walked up the hill and didn't break our necks, and we appreciate you doing that, because that family absolutely loved their gift, and they were amazed, and they actually called back and said, "This is really good. You can bring some more anytime."
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I was pretty surprised. After you guys left, I had a stream of people coming through there that day. I don't know the exact number, but I stayed busy on up until about 3 o'clock with people waiting up there in 3 inches of snow, and it was about 30 degrees or something along those lines.
It was beautiful, though. It was a beautiful day. Short mountain with a little snow on it.
To warm them up.
Yeah, hey, if that's what they need, then we can provide it.
And you will have tastings on your reopening, your anniversary.
Our 1 year anniversary, absolutely. That is always the case. Anybody that wants to come and visit us anytime. I do want to remind everybody that we have changed a little something about our schedule. We are going to be open this year Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 to 4. So those will be the only 3 days that we're open, and that'll be tours, tastings, purchasing, anything, that you want to have happen on those days. We can make that. And of course the Shiners will be running the Shiner Shack and that sort of thing. It'll be just exactly like last year's visit, except we're not going to be open on those Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We have found that as our demand has grown and we've spread out into different markets, we need a lot more time to bottle and produce and
Develop.
Because it's all done right there. I mean, when you take the tour, you're right in the middle of everything.
That's right, and that makes it difficult. We were discussing that yesterday. I've been out selling it, and we're getting huge orders placed for it, and I'm trying to push more bottling, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to do that with people there, and so we figure that's the best solution. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we always had visitors, but we feel like this kind of consolidates it a little bit. People can put off their Wednesday visit, come in on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and make sure that happens. But another great thing about this coming year is we are about to expand. We're going to put up a new building on the property there, just up the hill from where our current facility is at, and try to make that where we don't have to close while we're doing bottling and that sort of thing. We can have all that take place in the other building and just give us more storage, give us a place to put barrels, because we're growing quick, and it makes my head swim. It really does. There's a lot going on.
Well, it's been
Well,
fun.
this is a good thing,
It
John.
is.
Oh, it's
Rather have it
absolutely.
this way to have time you didn't know what to do.
It is. I just wish I was about 15 years younger and had all those brain cells still working for me, because I have trouble remembering things from time to time. I've really become a person that writes it
This
down.
gives you more brain cells.
Oh, is that right? Okay, well, I'll try that.
Well, I've heard all kinds of remedies with this too here lately.
Oh, it's
I've
like
been-
vinegar.
I've been very fascinated. I had a lovely lady come in to talk to me about, she had shingles, and the doctor and a neighbor had said, "Have you tried moonshine?" And she goes, "No, I haven't tried that." And here she is, prim and proper. She went, she tried it, it worked. And I mean, she was trying to tell me all about it.
Now I'm going to ask this question. And what did she do with it?
Well, where she had it on her, she had it on her scalp, and then she had it on her arm. So at night she would.
In other words, it'll eat
Put-
anything.
she put it on her head, put the cap on and everything. But if you've ever had shingles, let me just tell you, if you've ever had it.
Now I know the cure.
She swears by it.
I think
She
this is a
would
good.
put it on her, rub it on her wrist, and it would work. I'll
It
have
worked.
to remember that.
If you've
one.
ever had that, they will be up there in droves.
Huh, okay. Well, I'll have to remember that as part of my sales pitch when I go into
Well, I'm
stores.
sure we'll make sure that's a senior kind of audience. Probably those young people are not going to understand that.
Okay, it kills shingles, psoriasis, anything that.
And makes you have a good time.
Yes.
And it's
And
long
if
been
you
used
take
as a
drink
cough syrup.
before
It
you
has
do that,
long
then
been
you
used
think
as a
it's
cough
cured.
syrup. A hot toddy.
That is one of the interesting things
See,
about
people are going to start thinking we've been into it again, Carolyn. We hadn't even got finished with the show.
Speak for yourself, girl.
Mercy. It's a good product, and we invite you to come up and check out everything. And
Please do.
This
First
is
band will
the-
kick off at about 10 that morning. Food, of course, will start being served about 11, and everything will go on through the day till 4 o'clock. So, yeah,
And the
definitely come out and see us.
Chamber will have a booth there if you want to pick up
Bring
some
your blanket
brochures
just in
or
case.
something. Yeah, last year was cold. But
But it's
they
not
had
bad.
a big crowd. It didn't matter. So,
No, there was lots of folks there.
of course, I kept seeing people go back through the line where you were tasting them, and I thought, well, maybe I ought to rub some of that on me because I'm about to freeze. But John, we wish you the best. We're proud to have y'all in Cannon County. I get a lot of people that mention it to me everywhere I go. And the first question they still ask is, though, you can buy it up there? You can drink it up there? I thought, well, you can taste it. And yes, you can buy it.
You certainly can. And we really appreciate all the support that you've given us, Carolyn, and everyone from the community. We really do. We appreciate all of that. And we try to make it a place that you can bring your family. A lot of local residents bring their family from out of town up to visit with us and that sort of thing. And we really try to stress that the moonshine around Cannon County, really, it's a lot about the history and the heritage and traditions
It's
of the
not
county.
new, is it?
It is not. It is not. And that's, we want to make it where people can bring their, families up there and be proud of it. It's a family environment, as you guys know. We don't allow a lot of carousing or anything like that going on. We really want people to understand the history and the tradition that goes behind all of that. And the local residents to be proud of it.
And they are.
I agree.
Most of them, anyway. the ones I've talked to, actually.
Well,
Well, we thank you, and I look forward for being up there, and I'm like you, anybody that has any authority over the weather, I'm
Yes.
hoping they call for a really good day.
Absolutely. About
will be.
70 degrees and sunny would be just
that would be
perfect.
wonderful. That's what it's
You
going to
know,
be. That's what
even
it's gonna
if you, well, for one thing, the band, like I say, the Mafia Band brings their own crowd. The Mule Skinners bring their own crowd. I'm telling you, I'm amazed at how many people get so excited about riding on a wagon pulled by mules. They do. I don't know why that surprises me. I guess it just does. But they bring their own crowd too, because they'll bring the whole family, just be pulled around. And you take them around the farm, which is one of the prettiest farms in Cannon County.
Yes,
It
it
is, if not the prettiest.
Our
I've
mules
always
are our
thought that.
Clydesdales at Short Mountain. So Budweiser has the Clydesdales and we got the mules.
Okay, that works.
I want to see the commercials.
Okay.
If they make
See
me
you
cry, then we'll
See you on the Super Bowl one.
Just around the corner. Just around the corner.
That's next year, year 2.
That's
year two
right.
plans.
That's right. Well, we thank you very much, John, and we wish you the best, and we hope it continues to be a big thing.
Great. And we'll see you up there.
Yes, you will.
And so our next guest, of course, we know him.
We certainly do. You know,
I see this list of stuff.
I didn't really know which
We want
one
to roll
do
it
in
across
first.
the table and out on the floor.
We have Neil Applebaum with us, and Neil has been with the community for quite a few years, but he is the chamber president this year, and last year, he was a lucky person. He got to serve 2 years.
Thanks.
And he really wanted to, too. He is also a realtor. He is also a community advisor. He's a grant writer. He has helped, and is still helping with many of our economic development boards. He is on the
Industrial Board.
industrial board,
I'm on the Art Center Board.
Art Center Board, and I believe that you were on the event that you've come to us to talk about. I don't know if you're still president of the Stones River
I
Relay, the
am.
watershed.
How many days and how many hours and how many minutes?
It's 1 month and 2 days. Yes, I'm
And rolling off that, but still we're going to be a big part of
right,
it.
stepping down from president to treasurer, right.
Okay.
So it's an adjustment. So I can do some accounting instead.
And they do a lot, the watershed programs are a big thing in Tennessee.
I think it's a new word for a lot of people in Tennessee, but I think, various not-for-profit groups across the state have just been making that word visible and trying to explain to people what it really means. And it's simply all the land where your water comes from, water falls from the sky, drains across a piece of land, and then forms a little stream, and then you've got a river, and then it flows all the way into Nashville. So, we're blessed to be in Cannon County, as we all know. All the water flows out. 3 different watersheds have their source just off of Short Mountain. And, we sort of celebrate that water by having the relay and then doing lots of tree planting projects and cleanups. And to some degree, a little bit of politics, making sure that elected officials know what's going on and making sure school kids know where their water comes from. I was in a high school class a few weeks ago, and it was an economics class, not a science class, and I said, "Where does your water come from?"
Silence?
There was silence.
Oh, no.
There was silence.
So, I mean,
So
but
there's a lot of progress we need to make, and I think we've already made some progress.
Well, we say that none flows in to Cannon County, which it doesn't, like the form of a river or something, but we have a lot of underground springs and everything here that,
Many people think that our water source really happens to be the Cumberlands, 50 miles east of here. Like the springs are connected that far over. We don't really know. It doesn't really make sense that we always have water just flowing out of the springs on our one little county, piece of property. So yes, we're connected underground, but we'll probably never know that. There are scientists who actually study, where
How
this
we go.
spring, where this sinkhole comes out, and these things are miles across, where that water comes in, water comes out. So it's a very interesting system given our geology out here.
we have 7 acres, and you can look right back from where it didn't used to be a pond, it is now, because it always held water anyway, and I thought, this is silly. We'll just make a pond, And it's spring fed, so it doesn't go dry. It's never gone dry, even in the driest years, it still has water in it because that water comes. Now, my husband fusses sometimes because we have to cross that to get to the back part of it, but hey, that's a good thing. There's a lot of people would love to have a spring.
We're very, very lucky to have
And we
such-
need to be responsible too, and
Right.
that's part of their job, is to help us to learn how to be responsible.
Right. We're an all-volunteer organization, but there are state science people who are board members or volunteers, people who are sort of professional paddlers, and people who are volunteer paddlers, and people who are arborists. So a lot of it is education. The board is stormwater professionals, and someone who is in charge of education at the Discovery Center in Murfreesboro is on the board as well. We've got a few lawyers who do some environmental law practice, but it's also, this is their water supply for their children, and they're concerned about it.
We not only drink it, look how much fun we have in it. I mean, really,
We do get to play in it.
yes.
And one of your event is, well, one of my
That is part of
favorites.
it.
I love to talk about your event. I haven't been in it. I've cheered for folks. I haven't brought myself to the point of riding off Short Mountain on a bicycle. Or
This year, maybe? You can, no, maybe?
I could do one
Well,
leg.
you
I think I
know,
could do
you
the canoeing.
you
I think
go-
I could do the paddling and the
That's
canoe.
the end of
A
it.
lot of people walk the run portion, but it's a
Yeah.
run walk, 5 miles.
It
It's
is
down.
downhill.
It's
It is
very much.
downhill.
It's very downhill.
It is downhill.
It's almost too downhill for a lot of the runners.
Yeah, but it is.
It's a strain.
My grandson did do it last year.
He survived.
Yeah, but it was so funny because, what did he tell me? He did the walk part, but then when he rode the bicycle, I think his bicycle fell apart as he came down.
River
Down
As he
River
came
Road.
down the road, I believe his bicycle just dismantled a piece at a time. But anyway, he did make it down, and he went to do the paddle. But last year was the year where we didn't have a lot of water, did we?
We did not have rain in March last year.
And so it made it hard to do that.
The 9-mile paddle portion, we shrunk to 2 miles, and people kind of said I could have run through the river, as fast as they could
That's
paddle.
kind of what he
Or
said.
pick up their boat up and carry it through.
It was definitely a slow experience.
But so far, we're doing well.
We look wonderfully wet for this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yes, it
we're
should be.
4 weeks away, and maybe we're going to have too much water. Maybe we're not going to have enough water between now and then. And it's, God is in control of this event and how it goes. We will do as much of the event as we can do. If we can only get the run walk and the biking in, that's great. If we get the paddle because the water's perfect, we'll do the whole thing.
So it's
This is
22
a
miles, right?
22
It's
mile
22
event.
miles.
22 miles.
Yes.
So it's a crazy experience. If everyone shows up at the yard center and suddenly you've got 70 kayaks and canoes at the end of the parking lot, and there's 3 school buses, and there's 3 cattle trailers.
See, now, I did come down to help with
The-
that part, but, directing people, and I've done that, but I've not participated in the
You didn't
actual
jump into
work.
any of it,
Well,
did you?
get on the school bus, take that ride to the top of the mountain, see the view, and
Now that's worth going
and
up there. I don't know
it's-
how you're gonna get down, but that's worth going up there.
The school bus will take you if you want. You can just go. You
That
can
is
just.
one
You really
good
can just
thing.
go for the view.
That is one good thing about this race that I believe is the backup support. On every trek of this trip, you've got folks that, if folks have trouble with their bike or whatever, that they've got that follow-up team, and I think that's very important.
The Cannon County Rescue Squad just puts in a lot of volunteer hours. They're with us from the beginning of the race to the end of the race. So we've got that kind of emergency support 100% available. And the school buses stay with us at each leg of the event to move people around parts of it they're not doing. So we make this possible for anybody to do as much or as little of it as they're willing or able.
So you do have medical help if you,
And we haven't needed any yet.
So that's right.
You will wear a helmet on your bicycle. People do flip off their bikes occasionally, but we haven't had any injuries.
Good.
because you do come down River
You
Road.
come down River Road. and
Beautiful scenery.
It's
Beautiful
gorgeous
scene.
through there.
Use your brakes.
And I have ridden a horse down there, and he had to use his brakes too, I'll tell you. But bicycle, good grief. I'd be blind, crippling crazy by the time I did that, Neil. There's no need of me even
Then you need to come down and help.
Please, you.
You need to come down and help direct the canoes and
Just
Well, I
come.
can do
bicycles.
that, now I can do that.
If you can get there at 8 o'clock Saturday morning on April 6th and help direct, that would be great.
I can do this.
It's a fun chaos getting everything organized and going.
I
in the morning.
bet.
But everyone's in such a great mood. Everyone knows what they're getting themselves into, and you know, it's a fun event. Some people really do it competitively, but that's really that's the minority.
Oh, yeah.
of
Well,
folks.
I'll tell you
It's-
who I think initiated that with the schools is Mr. Larson at the high
He's a
school.
very competitive guy.
Yes, he is. But
Accomplished and competitive.
He likes to see him get involved. He does. He likes to see him get involved in all those
Yeah,
things.
this is, so far we've had 6-year-olds, we've had 80-year-olds, you know, enter at any ability, it's really not an issue. We can accommodate it, people have fun with it. You know, my friends came, you know, a mom and a son, they did a tandem bike event the first year, and now he's grown up enough that he can do the whole thing by himself. So we've got folks coming in from New York, we've got people coming in from Chicago, and generally 5 to 7 counties around Middle Tennessee are gonna show up.
People like this, and they love the 5Ks. They like this type of an outside event, and the more trying you can make it, the better they like it.
And the best thing about it, this is the views. You're getting to see Short Mountain all the way
Oh,
down
it's
to the
gorgeous
river,
up
down
there.
to the mill. And so, I mean, it's just the views all the way through.
It's an experience most people don't get to
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
you know, and you get to do it all in one day, and we show you around and make it possible. And then, yeah, you spend, you know, 9 miles, 3 hours on that river, you know, it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. You'll run into blue herons. There were otters last year running around or swimming around. So
Running around with much water, was it?
they were okay. There are some deep spots.
But the backdrop, I have to say, the backdrop, Cannon County's backdrop is wonderful for something like this. So.
There isn't an ugly view in
Right, you know,
Cannon County.
Short Mountain is the highest.
Anyway,
Short Mountain's the highest point in Middle Tennessee. You know, if it's beautiful, blue sky and sunny and clear, you know, you can just see the edge of Nashville. So, you know, it's a spectacular experience. And something we added last year, we were a little slow on the whole trophy thing. I'm not a trophy guy, I'm not a T-shirt guy. But last year we thought we need to have something to sort of mark the end of the event. So for the person who did the whole thing, all 3 legs by themselves, and you know,
And finished it.
and finished first, we actually had a local sculptor build, we'll call it an artful paddle. So it's not a practical paddle, but it's a paddle trophy.
is that what this is?
That's
right
not
here?
what this one is. This is actually mine.
Oh, okay.
So Jason McVeigh won last year. He got that trophy. And then for the group that entered as a team, another friend of mine did sort of a triptych art piece. So there were 3 parts of the event, and there were 3 pieces to the artwork. So the team got to split the artwork, but the artwork was built to go together, but could be taken apart.
Wow.
So
That's very creative.
I want to
Show
see
that.
this right here would make me
This
want
is
to get into the race.
I
Just,
thought, this is
Well,
a big spoon.
it's a really big spoon, or we'll call it a paddle. William Coinga is a sculptor who makes really grand stone carvings, wood carvings, furniture to some degree, jewelry to some degree. Works in stone and bone and all kinds of woods. So he provided us with
It is gorgeous.
last year's trophy, which wasn't this one. If you go to the stonesriverrelay.com website, you'll hear all about the event, and you can see pictures of last year's trophy. And once that trophy got out there, once that paddle was seen, he wound up with commissions for 3 more paddles. So
wow.
this is one of
Brought
those
into
paddles.
business.
And actually, this is my father's paddle. It's not mine. I'm holding it till he gets here in a few
And you
months.
won't break it till he gets here.
It doesn't leave the house except for, you know, TV appearances. So
It's beautiful.
It's an Osage
It's
orange,
gorgeous.
decorative, you know, beautiful piece. So William Coinga is working on this year's paddle. So we'll see that in a few weeks, and we'll have it probably around at the Art Center for a week before
Oh, I
the
think
event.
people would appreciate this more than they would a trophy anyway. This is great.
This is timeless. It's
It is.
one of a kind.
It is.
William's a really talented
And it's a
man.
one-of-a-kind event, too, so I
Well, it
definitely
is,
think
so
so.
that's.
It's a strange triathlon,
good
if you
thing.
want to look at it that way. So enter as a team, enter alone, you know, do the whole thing by yourself, whatever you're up for. The Blue Porch Restaurant at the Art Center will be open all day right throughout the whole event. So, you know, your friends and family can come and hang out around town and go to the Art Center and eat. When people finish the relay, they can stop in and have lunch or dinner.
So to get signed up, already doing applications for?
We already have people registered, yes. We have lots of sort of free publicity, and we've got a great website, stonesriverrelay.com. All the information is there. Registration is online. Something we're doing differently this year, we want people to register early. So it's cheaper to register up till that Thursday, and the event is on a Saturday, and then we're charging more that Friday and Saturday. People do register day of the event. Some people don't know their schedules. The quality of this event is certainly impacted by the weather, so we want a beautiful day, and we want to have had rain 1 week earlier. So,
It'll be good.
one way or another, it's going to be fun. So go to the website. Kids under 16, I think it's just $10 to register. Adults are $20, and come out and play. I mean, that's just what I think of this as a crazy experience.
Oh, I think this is great. And like I say, these are things that people really get into anymore. And like I say, the more severe you can make them, the only thing that I could think of that you might add to it is a mud hole for them to run through. But if the river don't have any water in it, then that
They
could
may
be
have
it
it already
right there.
taken care of, Carolyn. You don't even have to add it to the event. So, well, wish you luck. But again, thank you for all the work that you do, not only for the chamber and all the other major things you do in the community. So I know
He
those
really
many
does,
hats.
and he doesn't always, it's kind of always, some of it's in the background, but he does a great job.
Cannon County's a great place.
It is. It is a wonderful place.
We all spend a lot of
Where can you
volunteer
get something like
hours
this? I mean, it's just amazing.
trying to do what needs to be done here. Yeah. I'm proud to get the opportunity, to work on these things.
But that's one of the things I think with being smaller that may be good is because when you're in a big place, there's so much more you need to be working on. So a smaller one, even though sometimes you're overwhelmed with the things that need to be done that don't get done, but it's doable. It's just getting enough people involved to do it.
Well, I think, the distillery is helping put Cannon County
On the
more
map,
visibly on the
yes.
map. The relay does these things. The senior center actually, I think, is acknowledged much beyond the borders of Cannon County for being a quality facility. The chamber manages the website for the county that markets everything we have going on. We're much more visible. The industrial board is working much better with the state and trying to attract local industry and work with existing industry. We're expecting 4 of our local factories to expand this year, bringing on new hires. So that's great news. And there's just lots of positive forward momentum going on.
There is. And you just have to think about it positively, don't you?
Absolutely. I think that is a big thing. We have a diamond in the rough here.
Yes, we do. We've got
Well,
all these polishers.
And we
working
talk
on it.
about these different events that we have going on, but you look at some of the things for your family that we've got going on this month. I know we have an Easter egg coming up, and that'll be in April, but everybody will want to know about that early. Our Adams Memorial Library has had a $1 million addition put onto that, and it is going to have its grand opening day on March the 17th. 2 o'clock, they're going to have ceremony. I know there's going to be a lot of folks out there. It's beautiful. If you go by, we want you to go in, visit, check out books. If you've not gotten your card to check out for books, you want to sign up and get that done.
And everyone needs to be reminded that this was done at no cost to the
Yeah,
taxpayers.
no.
This was all privately funded, donations to renovate and expand that facility. It was
And
just a
they-
gift to the community.
Yeah.
And they need supplies still, so they continue with the roast that they developed. I believe this will be the 3rd or 4th year they've
maybe
had
the
that roast.
Do we know
so
who we're
far.
roasting?
Yes.
Who is it?
Herb also.
Okay. Ooh, that would be good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
said
it'll
that.
be
one.
That would be good. And we can do
And
that
let's
one.
see, I believe that will be on April 25th.
So,
And that will be at the high school. You can get tickets early, probably at the library, or contact Charlie Harrell. You can always call the chamber, and I'll give you the numbers to call if you're interested in going to that. And that money is used for the library, because even though the building part of it is done, I'm sure that they still need supplies on the inside that
yeah,
that money
furniture,
could
different types of things that
could
they're going
help
to need.
with. But I mean, they've expanded their computers. They've They've done a lot of
Children's
things in
area, I know
there,
that's been
yes.
expanded, there's a lot of things, but it's definitely worth coming out and just taking a visit and going by and seeing that.
Now-
A lot of work has been put into that, again, without taxpayer money, and,
Right.
just folks saying, we need an outstanding library, and just having a dream and doing it.
Made it
That's
happen.
right.
Made it happen.
That was good. And then, like I say, they do have the grand opening for the new part will be on the 17th. And everyone's
That's St.
welcome.
Patrick's Day, I think that we're encouraging everybody to wear green that day too, so. To the ceremony. And then the chamber has a great event. We've started this has been, I think this is our third or fourth event, Mixer, our chamber
It'll
mixer.
be our third one.
And it's going to be over at Stones River Hospital.
They will be hosting it.
And this is just an opportunity for us as business owners and folks in the community to get together and network on just everything from...
We encourage people to bring a new business into town, and we do have some. And if they would like to come and just meet the other people, this is just pass along. Everyone wants to help the community, and this event does help to develop that, because you get to know who else is in there and what they're doing, So it would be ideal if everybody was a member of the chamber, but that doesn't always happen. So we have these mixers, and like I say, Stones River Hospital is going to host this one from 7 until 8:30 in the morning.
So it's
because
a breakfast
It's
event.
a breakfast
That's-
event, you're gonna get food, but.
They're gonna feed you.
And one thing that I want to tell, and I know there's some folks out there that are businesses that have been here in Cannon County for a long time. Maybe you were a member of the chamber and you weren't, and as businesses went up and down, we encourage you to take another chance and come back with the chamber. Get involved in some of these events. We're trying to do the things that you want to do, like the mixers, getting folks involved. We want to hear your voice on how to make Cannon County better, not only for your business, but all businesses here in the community. So there are a lot of things we offer. This is one of the things that you do get out of being a member of the chamber.
And the mixers
this.
are for members and non-members. So
Right.
you know,
Networking.
we want the chamber members to bring friends, and if you're just considering it and you're not sure, please come to the event. It's a free event. You get breakfast, you get to see what's going on and meet some folks.
That's
And
right.
From
So,
everywhere. I mean,
good
the
thing.
last meeting that I was very interested in a couple of folks about some education programs that were opening up at some of the tech schools.
Well,
and
Modelo
and
is a
things.
member, and we have a lot of out-of-town members. This is what surprises everybody when I tell them that, but we do. We have a lot of people from out of Cannon County that are members of the Cannon County Chamber.
And we have Cannon County businesses that are Rutherford County Chamber
Right.
members. Business crosses boundaries.
It
and,
does.
And we
It
need to
does.
reach out, and I think we're going to be working on a lot more of that this year as one of our big chamber events. in May.
Well, we will be hosting the Rutherford County After Hours.
Right, so Cannon County is going to Rutherford County to host a big evening in
That's
Rutherford
right.
County for
Because
probably
we
300 or
want to
500.
pull those people in here.
Yes,
We
well,
like for
and
it.
that's the biggest thing is they need to know. A lot of the times you think, oh, we know what's going on down there, but there's
Hey,
some
there's
things,
people in
and
Rutherford
they
County
don't know what we
we're
do.
here.
They're 20 times our size, and I think we're going to impress the heck out of them in May.
I think we will
Well, all
too.
right,
I
I'm
think they'll be
impressed.
very impressed with us.
I'm impressed, and I haven't even got there yet.
We definitely
And
will.
also coming up in April, now we do this every year, and our first cruise in on the square will be, and I know there's a lot of car people out there. I know there are because I see you at the cruise ins. It'll be April 27th. Now that will be, last year we had it the third Saturday. We have moved that till the fourth Saturday of every month. And of course, our car show will be in September. And this is kind of a lead up to that. Our cruise ins are, but this year we've had someone who has given us a 32-inch flat screen TV. And for each cruise in that you attend, you get to put your name in the hat. And this is for the car owners, and they've got to come and participate. And then in October, we have our toy drive cruise in, and we will do the drawing at that point for the TV. So that's
Give 'em
little
some- a little
something
bit of
extra to
incentive.
look forward to. It's not going to
32
cost
inches
you
of incentive.
anything. That's right.
That's a lot of incentive.
That's right.
But we want to see their cars out because that's another big thing here in our community.
It does,
is
and it brings
we got a lot of
people
car
to the
people.
square.
A lot of car people, a lot of horse people. You know, there's some
Oh,
mixed
yes, and our
arts
horses,
folks.
trail
We've got it all going on.
horse shows, rodeos. We got it all, we do. We just, it just amazes me when I hear people say, well, we don't have anything to do. And I thought, you aren't reading, or you aren't looking at what's going on, because there
we've been on
is
TV
things.
for an hour here, and we've still got more things that we can talk about, and we will run out of time. But
One thing is, and this is such a
This is
fun
cute.
event, this is our Lions Club, every year has the Princess Ball, and this is a father-daughter dance. Girls 18 and under, and their dates, which when we say fathers, it could be your father, your grandfather, a brother, an uncle that will bring the young ladies, and they have food. They have a disco ball with dancing, and I'm always amazed because I see some of the fathers and the grandfathers come in, and I think, now this guy's not gonna dance. Hey, he doesn't get off the dance floor. So it's amazing what little girls can make these men do. But anyway, it's a fun event. The FCE clubs, they do furnish the food. Kim, with the extension office, goes to a lot of trouble to decorate it. And like I say, she has a disco ball, and there's lots of music and refreshments and door prizes, and someone will be there to take their photos. Now, the dress for this affair is probably your Sunday clothes, or it can be formal. And we even had little girls come dressed as a princess.
yeah.
So we have princess attire too.
Now, this is a Woodbury Lions Club event. They've kind of sponsored this. It's held at the Woodbury Lions Club, and so it's $20 per couple, $5 for each additional person. So if you got more than one granddaughter, or the father has more than one daughter, you know, he pays for one couple and then an extra. But again, food, they take pictures that night. I've seen some pictures from the events, and just the
That's good.
smiles on the face from those little girls and their
they have a
daddies
big
and
time.
different types of things. I think it's a very sweet event, and it continues to grow. And again, it couldn't happen without Kim Smithson. She does a wonderful job
She
of putting that
does
on,
do that.
decorating. I know she's already called here, barring a few of her decorative chairs and things like that for the event. So we really do encourage you to come out. That is March 29th. So you got the whole month to get ready and convince that father.
Hey, I don't think
brother,
they have to
son.
work too hard. We had one bring a limo.
Yes, last year. I heard that.
That little girl piled out of that limo. I was impressed over that. I really was. This year, maybe you can get a hold of a few more of those that'll come in that too. But that's just another one of the unique things that we have, and it covers all ages. We have the sports part. We have if you're a horseback rider, if you're a car show enthusiast, we just have, and then Connie has the good old days coming up in
Yes.
May. You can't, I don't know how much more we can squeeze in. And then I heard yesterday that somebody in town is planning a block party, and I believe that's in April. So if you don't want to go to all of them, you can go to one or two of them anyway. So you just need to get on our website, which is www.canontn.com, and they are listed on there, and you can find out who's in charge of what too. So I want to mention our new Welcome to Cannon County signs.
Oh, yes.
They are great, and these are courtesy of Mike Gannon, our county executive, and he has Daryl Fisher is our maintenance supervisor. Our artist was Sean Cronick, and the carpenter was Michael Sanders. And
Are all four in now, or just
No,
one at a time?
One at a time.
Okay.
One from Murfreesboro. I think the next one's going towards Manchester, or is it McMinnville? I don't know.
Well, there's going to be one on the new road coming from McMinnville, but this one may be going to Manchester, the next one.
So
And
check
then they
those out.
also did a new sign for the convenience center.
I saw that. It's very nice.
It was. Thank you, Neil,
You're very
for
welcome. Nice to
coming
see
on
you
here
both.
and for everything that you do too.
And thanks to
thank you,
DTC.
DTC, and we'll see you next week.